Hello everybody, Keith here again. Another repot. This is my white twinkle. I've had it quite a long time, but it's not looking happy. It's sort of doing bits and bobs, but it really is not thriving. The bulbs are quite thin. Now, when I got it, I bought this sort of as a cheap plant at the time, and the bulbs were very thin then. It's never been a greatly robust plant, but it's not happy, so I need to get it out of this pot. I don't know how long it's been in it. It must be a while because it hasn't got any date sticks in it. So I really do need to get it out. Let's have a look. Got a feeling it tried to flower, but didn't actually amount to anything in the end. But I'm not surprised. The pseudo bulbs really are very, very thin and not at all plump, so something's not right in here. There's some roots. There's a big mat of roots at one end, which obviously have been are quite old. I think that was probably a little bit too coarse a bark for it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the bark particularly, but it's not happy in this. So I think what I need to do now is soak it in some rainwater and see what the roots do, and it'll help me get the what's his name? I'll get the last of that bark out. The pot's going to be fine for this size of thing, but I want to try using a much finer bark and perhaps put a bit of perlite in to try and get the get the moisture content up a bit. I mean, I don't want to drown the thing, but my impression is that it's not really hydrating terribly well as it is. It was perhaps drying out too fast. I don't know. I wouldn't like to say that I'm an expert on Oncidiums. Some grow tolerably well, but some that have done well have died on me, and I don't really know why. So, what can you say? I always say about orchids, we live and learn, but really it's a case of we hope they live long enough for us to learn from what we're doing wrong. Hence the expression that an expert is somebody who's killed 1,000 orchids. Now, none of these roots have greened up particularly, and not looking wonderful. There are roots, but there's such a mat of roots. Even though I've just soaked this thing in a jug of water, I'm not convinced that the water is getting all the way to the middle. Let's push it down even further into there and hope that makes a difference. But now we've got bubbles coming up, so there's something definitely not right in here. Something or other has been stopping the moisture getting to where it wants to go. So it's going to be very much a case of trying to work out what it is, and I don't know. I really don't know. I suspect I'm going to have to get a lot of this old and fairly manky stuff out the bottom of it. The problem is that with roots as fine as this, you can just pull, and you're as like as not to pull the good stuff off if you're not being extremely careful. I'm trying to only pull out the stuff that's... Can I improve that a bit so you can see what I'm up to? Let me see if I can get my little stainless tools and see if I can almost comb this mat. I'm going to use one of these. There we are. I bought these tools at a motorbike show of all things, and they're absolutely ideal for this kind of thing. You can get in and kind of comb things through like that and not really damage anything that's alive. Whereas if you go blundering in with your fingers, you can make an awful mess. I've got a feeling this is going to drop in too before too much longer, which I don't want if I can help it. But yeah, I think this has been the problem. The last time I repotted it, I don't like hacking and raking away at dead roots too much. Yes, I know that they can cause problems. Of course they can rot and what have you. I think I've got all the old bark out pretty much. Except for a few little bits, I don't think they'll matter too much. But I think with this one I made a mistake, and it was such a mat that it was stopping the moisture getting through. So hopefully if I can get this to hydrate more easily, and as I say now, I hope that such roots as there are will work their way into the bark, that will do a lot better. I'd like to think so. It has done well, but not lately, and I don't like to see plants struggling. I would probably have come and had a go at this earlier if I hadn't been ill, but unfortunately one or two plants have not done well because they were overdue for repots. But I think I'll tease these out. There's going to be some dead ones in here, I think, still. But as you can see now, really there's some white roots showing, mostly white roots I think. So hopefully if I put that back in there, the roots now will go all the way to the bottom, and if I put in some nice fresh bark with a bit of perlite, we should do a lot better, I hope. So it's not a big pot, we aren't going to want a lot of bark, and I think if I get that like so, because I think if I need any more bark it won't be a great problem to, and I'm only going to put kind of half a handful of perlite in there. I don't want too much, but a tendency to put too much of this in. I'm not used to using it. It's not something I've used until relatively recently. This is going to be interesting because the roots are all on the top. I'm going to end up all on the top if I'm not careful. Terribly easy to see what I'm doing. It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I'm losing the light, and you can probably tell from the colour of the video I've got the room light on, which at least this time is pretty much overhead rather than as it was the other day when I was showing you the lavender move from a glass jar to an open pot, where it was behind me, but I really did want to get that one done. I've had a really busy week. I've got myself set up beautifully. When I retired, I'd got time for me orchids, time for my do the aquarium fish. I was working on a terrain simulation project, as some of you have seen some of my older videos. And that's unfortunately stopped. But now my good lady retired and all that went out of the window. She can keep me busy. No, that's unfair. That's unfair. We used to do a lot more together. Now we've got the opportunity. So, yes, I haven't got an awful lot of time to do stuff on a regular basis anymore. So, it's usually okay, but a month in hospital helps nobody. Oh. Now then, I think if I just now top that up a little bit of extra bark, some people say that twinkles like to be on a mount. I can see that. I can see that with the way they can root, but I think this one will be okay in here. So we've got some nice fresh bark with a bit of perlite to keep it moist. I've got rid of that mat of root that was causing problems. There is a new growth showing just here on that one. So really it's a case of seeing how we go with this. Hopefully we'll see it kick on, as so very often happens when you repot an orchid. It does them a power of good. So with that, I'll thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.